Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword 3. So, we know a couple of things. We're looking, I guess maybe we have a job to find the girls.
Hello? Anybody home?
The girl that ran away with apparently a boyfriend, although I'm assuming a lot there. We know the girl ran away from her father after going to the local pop music concert, and he seems to be quite...
No buskers, circulars, hawkers. I thought I'd leave them alone.
Quite controlling of a person, so we may use that to our advantage.
I guess that being the middle of the morning, most people were at work.
We're just trying all the doors. This door in particular looks like it would be something.
Anybody home?
But we're getting the exact same response.
I wasn't leaving until I'd finished what I'd come here to do.
We have an interesting turn of events happening as far as how little there actually is in this game. And is this the Tor Moor? Or is that the moor right there? Can we jump over the fence and go in there? Not yet, or maybe never. Can't do anything with this fence? So many doors that have nothing.
Or maybe they just didn't want to talk to me.
And we're getting a lot of just default lines.
Hello? Anybody home?
So this is really strange to have such a large, very out of scale at places street.
The place looked
There's
empty.
the father that just walked across the front of the screen. And we've got a couple of trash cans we can't search, and this.
They sure knew how to make doors in this country.
So there is something here. Let's go ahead and see
I tried to
what.
open the door, but it was securely locked.
But this door does have something to do with something, because it's a... I think it does, at least.
There was a guy outside the bar. He looked like he'd failed an audition for Our Man in Havana.
Like I know that reference. Okay. Let's talk to him.
Hi, my name's Stobbart. George Stobbart.
How fascinating. 2 T's and 2 B's.
You'd be amazed how many people get it wrong.
Nothing amazes me these days. Eamon O'Mara.
You're Irish.
No, I'm from Hawaii. The Maui O'Maras.
You're not from Hawaii.
No, I'm not. I lied. Very astute of you to see through it. You clearly have a lucid and highly rational cognitive process. So what do you want, Mr. Stobbart?
So we're kind of back to the beginning of Broken Sword 1. They're really getting back to the roots. Just having us talk to random people. But kind of that was in Broken Sword 2 before they remastered it.
You sightseeing?
It was in Broken Sword 2
I'm
also.
researching the alacrity with which this place opens. In a civilized society, a man should be able to get a drink at this hour.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Precisely.
So he wants to get in the bar at 10 o'clock in the morning.
You can't need a drink that much, can you?
Now that's a complicated question. Let's discuss it over a beer.
It's too early for me.
Very wise. I'll be raddled before me time. Me liver riddled with the cirrhosis. Raddled and riddled. Well.
So, what do you do?
Good morning. I'm Eamon O'Mara, and today I'm in the enchanted town of Glastonbury.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course you haven't.
Now, wait a minute.
I'm here as a professional media Irishman, researching my new BBC programme.
Oh, you're putting together a TV show.
Bingo! Give the man a figurative coconut. I visit villages, interview the local characters, sample the local cuisine.
What's the show called?
Up your alley with Eamon.
Nice. And you're doing this place next?
That's that finely tuned cognitive process of yours in action again, isn't it?
So, I think I actually do have a beer I could give him. Let's continue down this path, I guess, and just have a full, complete conversation on one subject.
How did you get into television?
By accident. I was doing a reading at a bookshop in London. This wild-eyed BBC producer wanders in, points at me like I'm the second coming, and says, "You'll do, you'll do."
This is a perfect example of the wrong way to do conversations, by the way. We're so zoomed out. Some of that might be because we're at 1080p resolution and this was designed to do lower, maybe 480 instead, but even at that point, the way George is standing with his back to the camera and the way Eamon O'Mara here is further away in the background sitting down, you're never going to get close up on his face. Now, I imagine the case here is that they animated some up-close shots in very specific spots of people talking, but they didn't have the budget or time to do it for everything.
You're a writer?
Wash your mouth out. I'm a poet. Poetry is a gift to the Irish from the gods themselves. Yeats, Wilde, Joyce.
Bono.
Don't push your luck. I may have the soul of a poet, but I've the fists of a welterweight.
So we found out he's a poet, and that's important because we've seen a book of poems before, and that's going to play in somehow.
Have you seen that guy walking up and down?
The army type. Kind of Englishman I'm allergic to.
Oh? Why's that?
Well, if you have a couple of 100 years, I'll explain it to you.
I'm worried he might be out to kill someone.
Now you're beginning to understand my allergy.
What do you know about the Glastonbury tour?
What do you think of the town?
It's a theme park.
So where'd the tourists go?
I don't know, maybe it's out of season for hippies.
Do you know much about this place?
It's got half-decent pubs when they're open. Oh, I see. You want to know about the fairy stuff, don't you?
Fairies?
You see that hill?
Yeah?
Fairies guard King Arthur's sword Excalibur under that.
Really?
No.
Really? No.
Have you been in that shop, the Cosmic Fairy?
Oh yeah, always go there for me love beads.
I was just asking.
Have you talked to Madame Zazie?
Have you been in the fortune tellers over there?
Now why would I do a thing like that?
To talk to the fortune teller.
Well, if I wanted my palm read, I'll get my head examined first.
You don't seem very open to suggestions for your program.
I work best after a couple of stiff drinks.
Interesting, so I might have to get him drunk to get him to do some distractions for us.
Does this postcard mean anything to you?
No, should it?
I guess not. It was a long shot.
Who's Bruno?
I wish I knew.
Actually, that would make a lot of sense. If I can convince this guy to distract the shopkeeper at the store, I could sneak upstairs and see if Bruno's there.
Does this ID card mean anything to you?
It's an unflattering photo. Doesn't look anything like you.
That isn't me.
No, didn't think so. You're one of those godforsaken photogenic types, aren't you? And no, it doesn't mean anything to me.
There's a line of dialogue clipped in on top of the other.
I tried to open the door.
But
the door was
notice
locked. It wasn't opening time yet.
This door has a symbol of a door, where this door has a symbol of a gear. So use something with it. Bottle opener's not going to open the door. And I kind of like the shrug idea instead of other things.
The rod had been thrown off the inventor's machine in the explosion.
Just because I'd rather just have the character shrug and do nothing. And as long as it's an obvious shrug and you can realize that that's the reaction you're getting, I'd rather that than just the basic that doesn't work. You can even do both. You can have it shrug the first time and then go, it doesn't work the second time. And you then you don't end up hearing the same things over and over again. So we've gone full circle in the building, in this area.
Hi again.
And let's see if there's anything new to talk to Zazie about. I have this feeling that we do have some new things. I have this feeling that we're not going to spend very much time here.
What do your powers tell you about that man outside the pub?
Him come from across the sea. Him have strongly held opinions. Him seek knowledge, but not for himself.
All that from your crystal ball?
No, him just on the telly. That's Amon O'Mara.
What do you know about that shop, the Cosmic Fairy?
Them sell candle, incense. But the owner, Tristan Hillage, oh, me know him overwrought. There is anxiety in his aura.
Got his karma in a twist, huh? Just trying to lighten the atmosphere.
So just a deadpan, no response there, which would have worked a lot better if it just looked better, but still worked pretty well.
Remember this card?
Was me right about the Cosmic Fairy?
Yeah, that was where it was bought. I need to find out about who sent it, though.
Give it to me now.
What? Why?
Sometime there is psychic traces.
Ew.
Me may be able to read the traces left by this Bruno when he wrote upon it. Aren't we forgetting something?
Please?
You must cross my palm with silver.
Oh, right, sure. Okay, I got a credit card here somewhere.
Me no know except credit card, you know.
I've got some euros, I think.
Me no take euros.
How about doubloons? Gold ingots? A barter stick?
It's only silver me accept, you know.
So, interesting. She actually wants silver. And we've seen some silver coins. So we kind of know what we're going to do. And she didn't hold on to the postcard. So we've got to get the silver coins from the book. And so we've got to run back this way. And then we'll talk to the army guy afterwards. It's a long load. Long load. Let's see. Grab this book.
Darkness o'er the world is creeping. Slumber while the heavens are weeping. More good stuff. Maybe my first impressions have been wrong. On the counter were copies of the little poetry book with the coins in the covers.
See, I need the coins. And unless he's just scratching his face and I can't do anything until the game lets me back into. Unless I'm supposed to use a bottle opener with it. Nope. Or metal rod. Or a magnifier.
Hi again.
Let's see. So we want the poetry book with coins.
You say you had trouble getting this published?
Publishers? Ha! Philistines, the lot of them.
What you need is to raise your profile.
Advertise, you mean? Oh, I can't afford that.
How about a little spot on the BBC? Eamon O'Mara's new show?
That would be marvelous. Oh, but impossible, of course.
Don't worry. Eamon and I go, way, way back. At least 5 minutes. Want me to have a word with him? He's right here in Glastonbury.
Would you do that? Oh, thanks. Thanks awfully.
I'll need to show him some of your work.
Yes, of course. Here, take a copy.
I'm sure he'll love your stuff.
See how we've gotten really close on the face there? And oddly, that ended the opportunity for the other conversation too. So we need to use this with this. Nope. With this. So the metal rod pulls the coins out somehow, I believe. So we now have 3 silver coin and a damaged poetry book, and I don't think we need anything else. How are we doing on our notes here? The notes are nice and big to read, but I still feel like the concept in general is kind of silly. So watch George run around on the street, slightly awkwardly. We really don't have anything to talk to this guy about, but we can ask about Eamon O'Mara, I guess.
That guy over there looks suspicious to me.
Ah, I've seen suspicious, and he isn't it.
Oh, so what does suspicious look like?
Take a glance in the mirror sometime, young fella.
Okay. So, nothing from that. Let's go ahead and give the book to him. Not that we really care. I think it might help. It's taking forever to load again. Like, did I not give it to him? I guess I didn't. Guess I can't.
Hi, Eamon.
I guess that was a shrug without a shrug.
The guy who runs the Cosmic Ferry might be ideal for your show.
That old hippie. I've no time for the 60s. Caftans stink. Timothy Leary was a turn-off. And I'd rather listen to the Clash than the Beatles any day.
I thought you wanted to talk to eccentric characters.
Hippies aren't eccentric. They're pathetic.
I think this guy's got something. Take a read.
So we finally get it up close on his
Enchanted
face.
Avalon. Lays of a mystical age. Oh, just what I needed.
No, read some. You won't be disappointed.
If you say so. For there is lightning in my blood, my dark Morgana, my own Morgana.
It's not bad, is it?
No, it isn't. Oh, there was lightning in my blood, red lightning, lighting through my blood.
That's beautiful.
It is that, just as beautiful as when James Clarence Mangan wrote it about his Rosaline 180 years ago.
What?
Look at this. The fairies are a silent race, and pale as lily flowers to see. That's Samuel Ferguson. Shameless, absolutely bloody shameless. Darley, Griffin, Aubrey bloody de Vere. Does his thievery know no bound?
Well, he's stolen it all?
Every word. Oh, get this. The author reserves the right to be identified as the creator of this work. The grave robbing little toe rag. I'll have him.
So we've got a in-engine cutscene happening here. I didn't think it was gonna go that way, but fair enough. Turns out he was a thief.
Good morrow, fair traveller. How may I help you?
To the island valley of Avilion, where falls not hail, or rain, or any snow, nor ever wind blows loudly, but it lies.
I beg your pardon?
Deep meadowed, happy fair, with orchard lawns and bowery hollows, crowned with summer sea.
That's good. That's very good.
Of course it's good. It's Tennyson, you tofu-chewing twit. From his Mort to Arthur. Not the Thomas Mallory one, but we won't hold that against him. Now, do you recall King Mark of Cornwall in that tale?
I've read Mallory, yes. But,
You'll recall Mark has a big downer on a knight called Tristram then. 'Cause Tristram took something that didn't belong to him.
oh God. You mean Melissa? Look, I can explain.
No, not Melissa, you Aegis. Isolde.
Now you've completely lost me.
Egypt.
I'm talking theft and possession. Possession by the spirits of Mangan, Griffin and de Vere among others.
Ah.
Yes, 'tis a miracle that you've channeled all these great talents into your little book. Just a shame that they ended up repeating themselves from their own published works. Word for bloody word!
Wait, I can explain everything.
Now, that was my line. It was also my cue to make a move.
You explain.
So here we are.
Explain to you
Now
the
he's
theme of
distracted.
in Irish literature.
And now I go up here. Oh no, it's not Bruno, it's Melissa.
Gosh.
Boy, does she look old.
Sorry to just barge in here like this.
She's supposed to be younger.
Dressed or anything.
Guess we were just lucky then.
Or not. What's your name?
George, what's yours?
Melissa. Have you come to save me?
Yes.
Melissa? Melissa Butley?
How did you know my name?
Well, your dad's stamping up and down the street like Godzilla, except scarier.
Daddy? Oh my god, he isn't. Oh my god, he is! Oh, he drives me absolutely potty. You have no idea.
You know, you remind me of somebody, but I can't put my finger on who.
Perhaps we were sweethearts in another age. You know, underneath that brash exterior, you're really rather my type.
Ah, you know who this is? This is reminding him of the lady who was playing the piano in the first game. So we've got some conversations to have. Let's start with some simplistic things. What about the tour?
Have you seen anything weird while you've been in Glastonbury?
Only the people who live here.
Like, how old is she supposed to be? Because she looks 50s, maybe 40s.
There's a guy who does shows for the BBC in front of the pub.
We don't do shows in Britain, George. We do programs.
Have you been to the fortune teller up the street?
And what would she tell me? I'm going to meet a tall, dark man with a big moustache and a double-barreled shotgun.
He hasn't really got a shotgun, has he?
Of course. Daddy's old-fashioned like that. I do hope he doesn't kill Tristram.
Let's see. So, do we ask about the postcard? Or ask about herself? Let's ask about herself.
Hey, I know who you remind me of. Do you know a Lady Piermont?
Oh, Clarissa? I should say so. Lovely old duck. How do you know her?
Met her in Paris a few years back.
On one of her man-trawling holidays, no doubt. I say, did you and Aunt Clarissa...
No, not my type.
No, you don't have that haunted look her conquests usually display.
Alright, let's ask about the postcard then.
You recognize this?
One of the tour postcards from downstairs, isn't it?
It's what brought me here in the first place.
But they
Does the
haven't
name
found
Bruno mean
Bruno.
anything?
Oh, Tristram mentioned him. He used this room before me, you know.
So now we ask about her father.
About your dad?
I say, you're not working for him, are you?
No.
Shame. I'd come home today if you were the pool boy.
I guess your dad's just worried about you.
Worried that I might have grown up? Well, he's too late. I have. And I rather like it.
You got a boyfriend?
You got a girlfriend?
Well, not really.
Interesting.
So, you're on the run.
Sort of.
Your dad's a real ogre.
Oh, he's a pussycat.
Really?
The frothing pit bull terrier type of pussycat.
How do you know Tristram?
I met him at the festival.
Aha.
He read me his poetry.
You don't need to tell me the rest.
Then he said I could come and stay with him. So I did.
You poor kid. You and Tristram, is it serious?
Tristram is one of a kind. In fact, when I think of him, I go, you know.
The poor woman had been duped by Tristram's lies. I couldn't let him mess up her life. And she was bound to find out sooner or later. Look, Melissa, you hardly know me, but some things are better coming from a stranger.
Ooh, is that a promise?
These poems, Tristram doesn't write them. They're all copies.
Well, duh. Obviously.
What?
I knew that.
What?
You must think I'm totally deaf.
No, I just thought he'd tricked you, you know, put you under his spell.
Oh, you're too sweet. George, are you for real?
I don't...
You've come to save me. Like a knight in armor.
Well, that wasn't my original plan, but it became an option.
Oh, I could kiss you all over.
Hey, steady. Remember the Geneva Convention?
Who needs it? I don't take prisoners.
I bet. So, when did you find out about the poems?
From day one. I wrote my thesis at Cambridge on Irish poets of the early 19th century.
You're very gifted.
Try me.
Ha! And Tristram doesn't know.
That I know? Of course not. Why let a question of authorship get in the way of a good...
Yes, why indeed.
But all good things. With Daddy on the trail, I think I'd better split. Anyway, don't suppose you fancy a weekend in Acapulco?
Jeez, I'd love to. But my Acapulco visa ran out just yesterday.
Pretty good jokes. Pretty good one-liners.
What were you doing?
But I didn't search the room, so...
Having a little conversation with Melissa.
That's
I don't
private
think
up there. You had no right.
there was anything
Just like you had no
solved
right
there.
to be seducing that poor girl with stolen poetry.
You had no right to interfere.
She had a right to know.
Oh, no. You haven't told her. What about the poetry?
You can't base a relationship on lies.
I have to talk to her.
I wouldn't advise it. She needs a little time to herself. Then she's going to stay with friends. I took more than a little pleasure knowing that he was the one who'd been duped.
And so... we're in a conversation with this guy, so we'll talk about the colonel.
Maybe I should march right outside and tell Melissa's dad about you. Tell him that you've got her upstairs. Tell him that you've broken her heart.
You wouldn't. But that poor, innocent kid. Think what it would do to her.
He ought to know.
Please. Oh, God, no, you wouldn't. He'll kill me.
You're breaking my heart. On the other hand...
Yes? Yes?
You
Ah.
tell me what I want to know.
I'm just gonna force him to
and
talk.
I forget about your house guest. Blackmail wasn't really my style. And suddenly, I wasn't so sure who was being duped anyway.
Very well.
Tell me about Bruno. Weird
Now
way
tell
to
me
get
about
the
Bruno.
answer.
He was here, but he's gone. Upton went one night.
Did he leave anything behind?
He was in a hurry. He just grabbed his pathetic belongings, threw them in his bag, and off he went.
We must have left something.
Nothing worth looking at, believe me.
Letters, notes, a phone number?
No. He took everything with him. Only,
Aha! So he did leave something.
well, yes. But what good is an old pair of pants to you?
Pants? Give them to me.
I found them in the laundry pile after he'd vamoosed.
Did you examine them?
No. What kind of a chap do you think I am?
Excellent. Come on, let me see them.
You're a sick man.
What are you waiting for?
So,
Oh, man, these aren't pants.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. These are shorts.
What are you? Some kind of underwear detective?
knows the swords
Oh,
behind his head.
I'll take them anyway.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So I've ended up with some boxer shorts or underwear. Let's look at them.
The shorts belong to Bruno. I didn't want to examine them too closely.
Let's see. And do they work with any of the other items I have? Nope. So, while we may have one thing to say that we can say to the father, I think Ammon is gone. Or is he back over here? No, he's gone. And the father's gone. So we've eliminated a lot of options already. And let's see. Let's look at these coins, make sure they're nice and polished.
The 3 commemorative coins had come from the poetry book.
And see, unless there was something where we needed to polish them with the underwear, I can't imagine there's anything else we need to do with them, so
The 3 commemorative coins had come from the poetry book.
I'll just walk in
Hi
here.
again.
And we'll see if Madame Zazie can tell our future and help us in any way.
Here, let me cross your palm with silver. Have a look at this postcard, please.
Ooh, ah. I see a man.
Well, that narrows it down.
A man. Bruno. Fleeing from danger. Came nearby and yet.
There was nothing she couldn't have picked up from reading the card itself.
No. The psychic imprint is too faint. Too many others have handled this card. Your own imprint is much more distinct.
Oh?
You'll be going on a long journey.
Terrific. Am I gonna come back?
Perhaps, perhaps not. I need something
Interesting
much
pop
more
in the
personal to this
microphone.
Bruno, if you want a better reading.
Okay, well then here's his underwear. So we did need
Okay.
this.
Let me cross your palm with silver. Again.
So we're gonna use all
I'd
3
like you to look at
coins.
some boxer shorts.
Now just wait a minute. I don't want no funny stuff.
No, seriously. I want you to use that psychic hoodoo on him.
Very well.
It's an interesting question.
Item of apparel, please.
Interesting question. It's like, do you
Getting anything?
consider...
Apart from nauseated? Cha, no, me sorry.
Like, are you personally affiliated with your underwear? Wow, her eyes rolled back, but then everything kind of locked up.
No!
What? What can you see?
Dragon fire! No! A man and the dragon seek his death. He only has minutes to live. Oh, the flames. No! No, the...
Madame Zazie? Madame Zazie? She was out cold, but okay. I must admit, sometimes my shorts had the same effect on women. If she was right, Bruno would be dead soon. I had to act fast. But how? I didn't even know where he was.
Interesting.
Luckily, I got a hint.
The yeoman arms. So, we have to run to the fire. And that's what we will do next recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.